Alright, in this video, I pulled 4 replays from what I think is a scrim between St. Clair Gold, their B team, and Bruton Parker. Sorry, Manny, I pulled them from your page, so it's 4 losses. I was just combing the streets of ballchasing.com because this is how I spend my life, and I noticed that these replays were available. So we're gonna have a look. This is the full Bruton Parker A team against the new St. Clair Gold rosters. I think Christian is the newest player, but in my mind, I usually have a decent memory when it comes to Collegiate Rocket League rosters because I don't spend my brain power doing much else other than collecting Rocket League thoughts in here. And so there were so many St. Clair Gold variations last season that I cannot remember who on earth the actual starting lineup was. So we're gonna watch this because a couple topics of conversation that I wanted to bring up with these replays. One of them being the B teams of CRL, because in my top 32 rankings, and I don't think there's any kind of controversy about anyone that I left off. When it comes to B teams, my top 32 included 3 B teams. Was Akron Gold, St. Clair Gold, and Ball State Black, who is the B team of Ball State. And normally it's a fun little competition to see who the best B team in CRL is, and it's typically been Akron for the course of the last year and a half, maybe. I can't remember further than that. It's been a wild last year and a half. But I think this season they might actually have some really good competition because St. Clair Gold has been really good at beating good teams in the Colleague pre-jump tournament over the summer, and grain of salt because this was a summer tournament, but also they beat Oklahoma Christian. Pretty good upset. And it was Oklahoma Christian tilting out of their minds. I think they had lost to King in that same tournament. But yeah, they beat Oklahoma Christian, and they beat Akron Glue as well, which was Melio playing with the A team. So St. Clair Gold is going to be good this year. And I think it's going to be between them and Akron Gold because Ball State Black's roster's up in the air right now. I've heard Variety is getting a shot at playing for the A team. So Ball State is figuring out both rosters, which I think is going to have more of an impact on the B team than the A team, obviously, because the B team's going to have players poached and uncertainty about who the starting lineup is. But Ball State's stacked this year, so they could just end up re-entering that conversation of top B teams. It really depends on results, and yeah, I think that'll really determine it. Just consistency over the season. But so far, no goals, and I'm getting spoiled. I'm not doing that overlay thing again, where it takes away my bar at the bottom of the screen that tells me what's coming up. Because there have been a ton of saves by both teams. This has been a pretty good back and forth game. I have no idea actually which games in the scrims I picked. So that could have some necessary context, but the actual scrim results aren't exactly what I'm looking at. Even though I did pick 4 losses for Bruton Parker. Oh, nice fake. That was really nice. This is True. I'm assuming he's changed his name to Trupo for Nowpo at the World Championship right now. Which, speaking of which, I loaded up the game today, and I've had the World Championship stream up. I got the splash goal explosion, I think 6 times in the drops that I got from watching the World Championship. So shout out to Psyonix for doing nothing to develop their drops and make them actually interesting. That's a good counterattack play. See, St. Clair Gold have a sneaky amount of skill on their team. Like the first goal was a fake. That one was just a cheeky counterattack pass, and they've been like a little awkward at times on their goal line this game. But for the most part, they're playing the ball into space well and then seizing onto that space and putting together good counterattacks as a team. And this is just one game, but I thoroughly enjoyed watching them at the tail end of last season. I need to watch them at the start, but Towards the end, they were quite good. That I saw. But yeah, I got the Splash Gold Explosion 6 times, and I think I've probably amassed... I would be surprised to have like 50 splashes in my inventory, just from how much I've watched the RLCS with drops on over the years. And I think that's a pretty good encapsulation of how stagnant things have gotten at the top of the RLCS, but it is what it is. I'll still enjoy the World Championship this weekend and hope that CRL gets announced, which it should. Don't know when. And we are almost halfway through September. So I understand putting it off to announce it at Worlds, but man, really putting it off. All right, good game one. And they're all 1-goal games. And these are scrim results. So, grain of salt. Ooh, we get a kickoff goal right off the bat. St. Clair just keep it going. It's fatal this time. 1v1. Oh, just beats Milk. Man, Milk had a shot at that too. Okay, we're flying. Cool. Just a great flick. Nicely done. Let's watch Fatal. The show matches that I run, that people who are watching this will probably know about, because I don't get many people watching my videos, because I don't upload very often, that aren't typically attuned to my channel. My show matches are moving from Monday, Tuesday to Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you're watching this right now and you don't know about my show matches, I run Collegiate Rocket League show matches, and they were every Monday and Tuesday going into this fall semester. But then the Southeastern Esports League, which is a league that I cast and work back end for, had to move Rocket League to Mondays because the NECC unexpectedly switched their Rocket League game day to Wednesdays, which has been the SEL game day since the fall of 22. Oh, my save. Got quick for that one. And Christian's downfield as well, no boost to clear it. But yeah, show matches are moving Tuesday, Wednesday, which I'm excited about. Wednesday's a day I've never had show matches on. I've had Friday Night Lights, that's how it started, and then it moved to, I think, Monday Night Lights after that, because I had Mondays off when I was working at Huntington, and so I would do my show matches then, which my girlfriend at the time hated. She didn't like the hours that I was working in general, because they were esports hours, working in the evenings, but I then would have one of 2 days off dedicated to my show matches most of the time. Yeah, that's why I'm not in a relationship anymore, but it's worth it. Because Kronovi was on my stream this past week, which was awesome. Really cool guy. I am really excited about this new batch of kind of star names that are joining CRL. Because you never know what kind of ego they're going to have, but I really think Kronovi is going to be a good addition. I don't know about Garrett G. I don't really know what kind of guy he is. Andy and Hoxer, same, honestly. Like, they seem like cool guys. Yeah, I don't know what to expect ever from pro players. But at the collegiate level, everyone's usually down to earth. That's my experience with guys that are pretty good at this game. Usually down to earth. You get your occasional odd guys, but Fatal's being annoying. Play underneath that ball. Ah. That was tough. Oh, and they still don't concede. I should have been looking at my little bar. I actually want to watch this Bruton Parker pressure because they're going all the way back here. And Cass lets the ball go. Christian misses it. And then Fatal gives the ball to Manny, and Christian does no boost. Okay, that's a bad play. I think you can tell by Fatal's car language that he agrees that it's a bad play. Let's keep skipping around though. But yeah, I'm quite excited about this new batch of CRL stars. I've been privy to some of the invites going out for a couple of lands, actually. Some of the bigger time lands. And I mean, most people know that I'm pretty involved with I've announced that I'm going to the Scenic City Invitational up in Chattanooga. So I've seen the teams that are getting invites. It's stacked, and most people can assume probably that I'm involved at least a little bit with TJ's DreamHack Invitational, because TJ and I do a lot of work together. And yeah, stacked events. And so we're going to have, I hope, a lot of eyes on these LAN events, because they're LAN events with RLCS pros, which outside of actual RLCS events and EWC, we haven't had since DreamHack lands, actually. So it's fitting that that there is one of these events happening at DreamHack Atlanta, which I'm stoked about. It was a great event last year, and it was a cool kind of full circle moment for me, because DreamHack Atlanta 2019 was the first event that I ever went to within a gaming context, and it blew my mind. And I think DreamHack Atlanta was better back then. I think there was more to do, but actually, I say that thinking about last year's DreamHack Atlanta. This year's, I'm also excited about outside of the Rocket League context, because there's the Clash Royale World Championship, which I don't play Clash Royale anymore, but Clash Royale esports was my introduction into esports. I didn't know what an esport was before Clash Royale announced the development of their esport back in 2018, I think it was. They had a whole 20-win challenge, and if you win all 20 games, you would get invited to their big pro combine, which was super cool at the time. I got to like 16 wins. That was... there's a timeline where I'm a Clash Royale pro. I don't know where I'd be right now if that had been the case. So yeah, getting to be around their World Championship is another kind of full circle thing, and the fact that it's at DreamHack Atlanta just adds to it. And then there's always the Counter-Strike Open, the ESL tournament. And I love some Counter-Strike as well. That's kind of my esport this year. I don't often admit to this publicly, but I haven't watched a ton of the RLCS this season. A lot less than previous seasons. And that's for various reasons that I don't want to get into publicly. But as a result, I've watched a ton of Counter-Strike this year. So that's been my esport of choice outside of Collegiate Rocket League. So over the summer, it's nice having all the Counter-Strike that I did. This is a pretty even scrim. And right now, I'd probably have Bruton Parker as a top 25 team. And St. Clair Gold I had at 29, but they're play good scramble defense. I wouldn't say it's the cleanest Rocket League out of the Saints, but they're winning games with a really good counterattack game and a pretty good goal line defense. And that, if memory serves, was how they were winning in Colleague pre-jump. But memory's not been serving so well as of late. But I do enjoy the back and forth nature of this scrim, because for all the goal line defense that St. Clair have been playing, they have had a decent amount of possession. I should have my stats tool up for this. Although I'm really trying to make these videos just so I can talk about things. I'm trying to get my personality out there more. I think my dislike of social media has lent itself to a lot of people that don't see me at LANs not really knowing what I'm like. So, I'm trying to figure out how to make this whole talent thing work. And I feel like as full-time talent, outside of Rocket League commentary, you gotta have sort of a personality. So I'm trying to do that. And I'm doing it the best way I know how, which is with a Rocket League replay in front of me. Which is nice. It's like back to my roots of studying Rocket League. It's nice high-level gameplay, too, because of how good CRL has gotten. Alright, I'm going to lock in for the final 90 seconds here. Because this is obviously another St. Clair Gold win. Because I showed the 4 replays that I stole from ball chasing at the start of this. But it still is so back and forth, and Bruton Parker, I've gotten close a couple times. Like, plays like that are how St. Clair are surviving in defense. True playing that off his crossbar. But now downfield, has actually beaten Milk off the backboard. Christian was more ready for a shot there. That could have been the goal for St. Clair to kind of get close to winning this game. 50. Milk gets dunked. Man, Milk's having a tough time in defense. Cass kind of lets that up. Yeah, Brute and Parker are playing pretty loose. Yeah, pretty loose indeed. Crazy touch out of Manny. Okay. This has like a late scrim game feel to it. I don't know if I can put much stock in this right now. Other games, I wasn't paying the closest of attention, but Brute and Parker are all over the place. I don't know if I'll watch the fourth one. This is the case. Still, commentary video. I'm trying to upload these as often as I can. I don't know if I have it in me to do daily videos, but these lower effort, no editing style videos, I might just upload them. Screw it. See if I get rewarded with consistent posting. That's what they always tell you to do with YouTube videos. Post consistently. And so, that's what I'm doing. Low effort, no editing, but posting consistently. So, this was St. Clair Gold and Brute and Parker playing each other. Hope you enjoyed listening and watching as well. 3-1 goal games. What better scrim could you ask for? I assume it's a scrim. I actually don't know. But pretty good games, all things considered. Subscribe to my channel. Like the video. Yeah.